Do you wonder how others spend and save their money? Like, how do some people afford that nice house and that new car? Are they racking up a bunch of loans to maintain their lifestyle? Well, in this video, I'll show you exactly how my wife and I handle our finances with our actual numbers. While I'm getting the template set up, let's see what we'll cover in this video. In this video, we'll cover how much my wife and I make, how much we bring in and how much we spend. We'll also see how much we save in our various sinking funds and how much we invest, whether it's in our 401ks, our IRAs, or our brokerage account. As always, we will show you our real numbers, so I won't be turning the camera on myself. I like to make these videos for a couple different reasons. First, I think there's a huge benefit of knowing your money, knowing how much is coming in and where your money is going to be able to see patterns or areas where you might be spending more than you think. I know if I did not visually see our money in these spreadsheets, I would greatly underestimate how much we spend in each category. You'll see a good example of this when we look over our expenses. Second, personal finance is a subject that many people don't talk about or understand, so I believe that showing how my wife and I handle our finances can be helpful to others and encourage them to start their own spreadsheets. Or if you don't want to start your own, you can follow along with that subscribe button. Third, these videos hold us accountable with our money. As I mentioned before, these are our real numbers. I'm not going to hide anything. We don't make the most money, we're not the most frugal, but the numbers are what they are. I enjoy knowing where our money is going and hopefully watching our net worth continue to grow. And at the end of this video, we'll see how our net worth has changed over the past year. Before we jump into the spreadsheet, I want to give any new viewers a little background about my wife and me so you can get a full picture about our numbers. My wife and I are in our early 30s. We have both worked in our industries for about 5 or 6 years. My wife is in marketing while I'm in finance, and we are not in manager positions, and according to Glassdoor and other similar sites, I would say we are around the average salary for our positions. We have a combined salary of about $135,000. This is before any bonus or overtime. And as I mentioned before, these videos are anonymous, so I won't tell you exactly where we live, but my wife and I live in a medium cost of living area, and it's just above the national average according to the internet. Alright, with that out of the way, let's jump into the spreadsheet. We had 4 paychecks in the month of May for the amounts of $2,028, $1,694, $2,028, and $1,632. These amounts are after all insurance, deductions, 401k, all of that stuff. So this is what actually hit our checking account. So for the month of May, we brought in $7,382 in total. Now let's take a look at our expenses. Our mortgage payment was $1,595. This amount includes all principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Currently, we're making the minimum payment since we have a pretty low interest rate, so it just makes more sense for us to pay the minimum payment and put our money to work elsewhere. Along with the mortgage, we paid $149 for water, trash, and waste. This is just above our prior average of $137. For groceries, we spent $284. If you watched our video last month, you'll see that we spent way over on last month, so this month came in a little lower because of that. For electricity, we spent $99. With the more mild weather, we have not had to run the AC as much this month, so most days the AC doesn't even run, so that's reflected in our lower electric bill this month. For internet, we paid our usual $80.41. I'm always on the lookout for a better deal, but we have only a few companies that service our area. For our cell phone, we spent our usual $137.32. This is for 2 cell phones with unlimited data. For car insurance, we made our usual transfer of $150 to pay for our 6-month premium when that becomes due. For gas, we spent $99 on gas. We filled up our tank 3 times for a total of $98.83. We're still trying to figure out what our new normal will be, so I'm not too worried about it being over our prior average since we pretty much could not drive most of the year last year. The moment has finally come for our car note. We made the last payment this month, and we should be receiving our title here in the next few weeks. We will take the payments that we were making on this car and send that money to the sinking fund that we have set up for my wife's new car. For our miscellaneous expenses, I will scroll over to our credit card transactions that I have copied in from the website. I made a little pivot table to help summarize the info, but I'll give you a quick scroll through so you can look at the individual transactions if you would like. We bought a few items for our cars from Amazon. We got 2 sets of wiper blades for our cars, since we like to buy fresh ones in the spring since that's when it's raining the most, along with some other items that I don't remember exactly what they were right now. We also had an oil change for $60. This was just part of our routine maintenance that we're trying to keep up with. You can also see that we ate out quite a few times this month. This month was a pretty rough month for both my wife and I in terms of work, so there was a few times that we just didn't have the energy to prepare a meal at home, so we spent a little more on fast food than we did in the previous month, and as you can see, we spent $118 just on fast food and restaurants. Also, you can see that there is a $180 charge for plumbing. We had somebody come out and check out a few things just to make sure our pipes were in good order, since there was something that looked like it could have been an issue, but it's on the city side, so I'm glad that we got that little bit of peace of mind for ourselves. As you can see, as far as miscellaneous goes, we spent a total of $461.86 on items that didn't have their own category. For fun money, my wife and I give ourselves $400 apiece, so $800 in total. It's the money that each of us gets every month to do whatever we would like with, no questions asked. It just helps us spend on our hobbies or on ourselves without question. And for the purposes of this spreadsheet, we do not track that money besides this line item right here. Now that we have all of our expenses for the month entered, you can see that over here off to the side, we have some conditional formatting set up, so anything more than $5 higher than our prior year average is going to spit out a red number. So you can see that our water is showing red since it's $12 higher than our prior year average, which is not too bad. And our gas, which was $61 higher than our prior year average was. This is okay since we're still trying to figure out what our new normal will be since we're going into an office now. I think in next month's spreadsheet, I'll update this prior year average to be a year-to-date average so it will better reflect our true expenses. So in total, you can see that in the month of May, we spent a total of $4,193. So with our $7,382 of income, if we were running everything on a cash basis and not putting items on our credit card, we would have been left with $3,189. All right, now let's jump into our savings and checking account. So after all the income we made and paying off our credit card for our expenses last month, our checking account ends at $9,856. We like to keep a $5,000 buffer just in case, so the amount above the $5,000 is just to cover the bills that are due early in the month, like our mortgage, water, and the credit card bill. So after we pay all of those, this account will be sitting at around our $5,000 buffer until we're paid again. We threw $500 into our house fund, and this account is sitting at $18,432. At the time of recording this video, I'm actually waiting for the delivery of some furniture, so in next month's video, we'll probably start transferring money out of this account to help pay for any furniture that we ordered. For home maintenance, we actually just set this account up last month, and I'm glad we did since we had that plumbing checked out this month. So we threw $250 into this account, and after taking out the $179 to pay the plumber, we threw a net total of $71 into this account, so it stands at $571. We didn't add to the emergency fund, so that account stands at $11,656. This amount plus our $5,000 buffer we like to keep in our checking account would last us a little over 4 months if we suddenly went down to zero income. We threw our usual $150 towards our insurance to cover the 6-month premium when that becomes due. We also threw another $250 into our car maintenance fund. So the car insurance account has $428 in it, while the car maintenance account has $750 in it. Altogether, those accounts stand at $1,178. We threw another $250 into our travel fund, and while we do not know if we'll be taking a trip this year, we do want to continue to save towards our vacation, so that account stands at $3,935. We threw another $1,000 into the car fund this month. We're aggressively saving towards a new car because honestly, we don't know how much longer our car will last. One of our cars is 12 years old and we don't know how long it'll be on the road for. So we're trying to prepare as much as we can for eventually whenever it gives up on us. So the car account has $13,250 in it, and we have some other buckets in this category. We have We have $2,100 towards replacing our cell phone and laptop when those eventually crap out on us. And we have $700 that are in some other buckets. So altogether, we have $16,050 in our sinking fund account. As you can see in our various savings accounts, we have a total of $61,000 spread across these accounts. Alright, now let's jump into our investment accounts. So for our first 401k, we threw $775 into this account, and the employer matched $362 for a total of $1,137 going into our first 401k account, and that account stands at $108,357. For our second 401k account, we threw $692 into this account, and the employer matched $288 for a total of $981 going into our second 401k account, and that account stands at $21,073. This account is the only investment account that has some bonds in it, so while May was a pretty flat month in the market, this account managed to come out ahead. So in total, between our two 401k accounts, we had $650 of employer match going into these accounts. That's free money. If you're not contributing at least to your employer match, I strongly suggest bumping up that 401k contribution to get the employer match. For our first IRA, we threw $500 into this account, and this account ended at $52,818. For our second IRA, I actually messed up when setting up the automatic investments, and I did it twice. I'll have this straightened out in the next month, but for the month of May, we threw $1,000 into this account, and it stands at $51,218. Now that our HSA is up and running, we contributed a total of $237 into this account, and this account ends the month at $17,762. If you have access to an HSA and are unfamiliar with what they are, I strongly encourage you to learn about them because they are the best retirement account because of their triple tax advantage. For our brokerage account, we did not throw any money into this account, and that stands at $33,393. Now that all of our investments are entered, you can see that we contributed $3,854 into the accounts, and they stand at a total of $284,621 at the end of the month. While our investments did not go up for the month, I'm glad to see that my wife and I have funneled nearly $4,000 into the market. Alright, now let's look at our assets and our debt. As always, we're keeping our home value at $300,000, and I only plan to update this once a year, which would be next month since we bought our home on June 30th. I was originally just going to track this to inflation since real estate values usually follow inflation, but real estate in our area seems to be out of control. I know Zillow's not the best indicator, but they have our home valued around $344,000, with the range being $320,000 on the low end to $372,000 on the high end, which is absolutely insane. Even Redfin is estimating $322,000, so I'm pretty comfortable with bumping it up 2% next month just to keep up with inflation. As always, I want to be conservative in these spreadsheets, so I'll just track it to inflation. Alright, as I mentioned before, the moment is finally here. We submitted our last car payment, and we should be receiving the title in the next few weeks. It feels so good to have this finally paid off. And we'll just keep funneling what we were paying on our car payment into the car sinking fund to help pay for the next vehicle. With our mortgage payment, you can see that our loan is outstanding at $236,408. As you can see, with all of our info entered for the month, we come to a net worth of $409,891. While it's not the most impressive month, with the market taking a little bit of a hit, it's such a nice feeling that the only debt that my wife and I have is our mortgage. We did increase our net worth just over 1% from last month, and I'll show you a graph of how our net worth has changed over the past 12 months. So from June 2020 to May 2021, our net worth has increased over $117,000. I don't say this to brag because my wife and I are not the epitome of the FIRE movement, and we don't even max out all of our retirement accounts, but I just like making these videos to show that even though we don't do everything right financially or with investing, as long as you consistently put away money and continue to invest it, it will continue to grow over time. We have a long way to go, but hopefully sharing this step in our journey will help others to start tracking their finances and start or continue to invest. If you enjoy content like this and seeing how I track our finances, please hit that like button and comment below with any questions you might have.